Morning all. Oh, horrible day out there. Wet, windy, cold and there. That's no good for January, April. April. Catch up, Peter. Right, so got a job coming. And as in the game, you never know where you're going to go. And this one's picking up from a big cat round the corner. And it's going up to Pontefract, which I kind of thought was in Wales, but apparently it's above Sheffield, between Sheffield and Leeds. You know, you go. And so it's a long way to go for me just to come back empty, so there's a possibility that I might be out. So I'm taping this now. This could be a 3-day life on the road video, or it could be there and back. But if it's there and back, I'll show you quickly. Also, doing a few more of these. I want to show you a couple of things. Here we go. We've got some new stuff in the cab. We've got some new cameras. Look at that. That is an Osmo Pocket. This has a gimbal. Now I thought gimbal was one of the dwarfs in Lord of the Rings, wasn't he? There was Frodo, Bilbo, Bongo, Gimbal, and Pants. I've got that one wrong. And also, we've got, as normal, over here on the day, we have mounted that's an Osmo. They ain't the newest ones, they do trendy ones. There's a Pocket 2, there's an Action 2, there's GoPros. Oh, yeah, these work. But it means that I can actually record myself while driving and record the road at the same time while driving without any danger. You just go click, click, there you go. So, and also because I used my phone previously as a camera, but you need the phone for the sat nav, and then you do the recording and it goes turn left at the junction a mile away. You're like, oh, so I mean, I'm just going to get out there and do the thing. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes. So maybe a life on the road may never even see the light of day. And it's off to Big Cat, which in fairness is lovely. It's 20 minutes away from me. It's just round, in my game it's just round the corner. And like I say, it's a fair distance, but because it's 18 tonne, I've got the right money on the job. And literally, if all I do is go to Hemel, from Hemel to Pontefract, I've got a booking time as well. It's next, but according to my mate Steve, he says all the boys love it. It's a super easy tip, so we can't look for a job on the way up there unless it's got a big window. Unless the job on the way up there says picking up in Pontefract, going back to Dunstable any time between 12 and 4, delivering the next morning, that kind of thing. That would work, but otherwise I don't want to go and book myself a job coming out of sort of Leeds. Like, you know, sort of like, I don't know. So let's say I book myself a job coming out of Leeds at 12 o'clock and get the Pontefract to go, no, you can't come in till 1:15, so I'll be stuck. So we will just, it's nice and easy. Round the corner, I know I'm loaded with the thoughts because I know the firm. And then just a nice steady drive up the motorway in the beautiful English springtime weather. Yahoo! Just down here, Maxted Road. There's quite a few places down here. You know, the times there's loads of pickups and drop-offs come from out of this place. The advantages of living near industrial centres, fantastic. We're just down here on the left, and we'll get the gear on. Beautiful day, my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Monday morning. Rain. What's not to like about that?
What do you want to know?
It's going to walk on the floor. We'll have lovely spring flowers before you know. There we go. Right, while we're loading here out in the rain, gotta stick it in my IVs and have a wander around and see how it works out. The new Osmo Pocket 1 for cheap people. Ready to go. I had a quick muck around with the camera thing. Yeah, it was alright. And then it sort of turned the thing off to protect. It turned itself off to protect the gimbal. The more I think about gimbal, was he a dwarf? It sounds like a bit of a rude word. you know, something that somebody wandering around in a stained Macintosh carrying an gone off pint of milk going, but I'll get the hang of it. I think what you can do is you can lock the head. If you lock the head, I can just wander around. But as for the wander around bit, no one wants that. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, enough about talking about cameras. Saying all about cameras. This is all about deliveries. So I've checked the sat nav. We're off now. 3 hours. Should be there. Half 8, half 9, half 10, half 11. It's a decent time. If I can get to it quickly enough, I've got a chance of getting something back. Pontefract, here we come. Well, we're on our way up. I've got 143 miles, 2 hours, 2 3/4 hours. And where I am at the moment is pretty much level with base. So I can assume it's going to take me the best part of 3 hours to get up there, traffic, and the best part of about 3 hours to get back. If I come straight back, which I am planning not to do, because that would be 6 hours plus the half hour I've picked him up in the morning, and 6.5 hours. Beginning of my week, I'm allowed 10. So 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 3.5 hours to go off route, pick something out and drop something off on my way back, or pick something up hopefully and then drop it off in the morning. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. The load is nice and light. I think the reason they've put the 18 tonne is because they need pallet spaces. It's 12 pallet spaces, so it'll be too tight for 7.5 tonne. I have got 12 on my 7.5 tonne before, but it was packed to the walls. So yeah, no, lovely. We're just on our way up. It's wet, it's grey, it's miserable, but I'm in a nice place. I'm sitting in a nice warm cab, got my radio on. Yeah, hour and a half Potmaster. Be gone. Now that one looks like a very strong contender. I have increased search radius to 50 miles from where I'm dropping off of because nothing is picking up. And look at that, Gainsborough, I've got time. I can fly up the Gainsborough, then back to the yard, and then Basildon in the morning. So we're going to put a quote in on that one and keep our fingers crossed. Well, I quoted it, he quoted it, and then I rang them. And I do that a lot. If I really want it, I ring straight away. And then go, right, I've just put a quote on your job. And I say, you've got a job on? Oh yeah, what's your quote, mate? And they go, well, I've just e-quoted it. You know, and they go, Vango, yeah, that's me, lovely. And the guy, he's straight, he didn't even turn around and like, he just kind of went, okay, fine. When can you collect? And I'm thinking, well, this is going well. You know, you're still thinking, but he hasn't said yes yet. And then he went, what's your reg, mate? You think, well, he's not asking me my registration just because he's curious to know what my registration is. So that's it. So I'm now going to be getting off. We're off to Pontefract. Drop that as soon as we can. Up to Gainsborough, get that one on, and then go home. So as usual, every time I drag my overnight bag out, I don't need it. But still, if that's what makes the day go well. So yeah, and I should be dropping at Basildon tomorrow morning on a decent day. So that's it. It's not going to be a day like 3 days on the courier exchange, my week on the courier exchange. This is a day. This is what can happen in a day, and this is the perfect day for me. You know. Well, the perfect day for me would be, I've said this before, thank you, loaded the night before, drop off in the morning, pick up and drop off, like pick up in the morning, drop off mid-afternoon, loaded, ready to go the next day. But this is loaded quickly, dropping off relatively early, up and loaded again, home at a reasonable time, loaded ready for the morning. So, on we go. My daughter's boyfriend, Dave, he asked me, what's your favourite roads to drive on? And I said motorways. I said, well, the thing about motorways is you want to get the job done. So when it says the job's 165 miles, and then you realise that it's going to Pontefract, you go, that's right. Because it's straight up the motorways, 56 miles, all the way there, because we live in. And then M18, and then straight up, and then you come straight back down again. The thing about motorways is they're a bit dull. My least favourite one, I get this job, and it was a regular. I don't have it so much anymore, because I'm on the bed. I'm in a day cab, and it was it's picking up from Slough. I had to pick it up about 3 o'clock in the morning, and then drop it off in Redditch. That's it.
The thing about that is it's basically M40 straight one, all the way up the M40. Now the M40 is actually quite a nice road. If you drive it during the day, it's pretty, and there's countryside, and it's green, and there's like cuttings. But when you drive it at 3:15 in January, it's just black. There's no lights. It's a black straight line. So you're like for about 2.5 hours, 2 hours of this. I mean, you just had it for about 3 seconds, and that gets really boring after a while, like, you know. The way I got around it was audiobooks. That was it. Audiobooks or podcasts. Used to listen to that sort of the film reviews with Mayo and Kermo Down, quite like that one, and a few podcasts, like, you know. So, but yeah, no. So my favourite roads, in all honesty, to drive are A roads. A roads are fun. A roads are 50 miles an hour. In this again, we're living. And open, and you know, you get that bit where, and you get these surprises when you drive around. You go, cool, I didn't know that was there. Oh, I didn't know that old house was there. Oh, I didn't know that great big field was there with that monument in the middle. And it's like, wow, this is cool. This is fun. Like, you know, up to Thetford, cool. What's that great big tower up there? It's better. A roads are my favourite roads. If you've got clear A road, particularly if you're going out to the places I tell you not to go out to because there's no work coming back, they're quieter. So, but in the meantime, we are still on the motorway, and we'll be on the motorway for another hour and a half, and then get it stopped, and then off to the next one. Still driving, just in case you were curious. Yeah, we're now 54 minutes, 45 miles. Yeah, we're due to drop just before 12. And then hopefully I'll get a break in and then fly down. I'm looking on the map, I wasn't sure where it was, but it's kind of down along the M18 a bit. So at least we're heading south for our pickup. It's always nice. I kind of figured I might have to drop off and then go further north to pick it up, which means you're going back on yourself. Admittedly, I'm going to have to go down and across, so chances are it's going to send me down the A1 and along the M18, and then I'll pick it up and then I'll have to get back. I'll go back along the M18, could go down the M1, or it might send me down the A1. I don't know. We'll wait and see. But it's all at the moment going according to plan. Yep, still driving. Well, I'm still driving. Nearly there now. 16 minutes, 11 miles. We did do a different motorway. We came off the M1 on the M18, and now we're off on the A1. I kind of noticed through when I used to study. I used to live in Teesside for 3 years, studying up there, and this is my commute. M1, M18, A1, A19. Straight into Teesside. Yeah, like I say, 11 minutes, and then we'll find out whether we can get it straight off or not. Nearly there now. 3 minutes, 0.7 miles left in the next roundabout, and we're on to, it looks like it's a big distribution centre. It is what you expect it to be. Motorway, then another motorway, then another motorway, and then very quickly off the motorway, that's where distribution centres need to be, because they want to get their gear moved quick. It's a distribution centre, so yeah, like I say, we'll be hanging a left up here. We'll have a little pull in, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to get it off relatively quickly. It's just before 12, and I'm due, I think, at 20 past 1. So I'm not loopy early. It's not like booking time of 1 o'clock and you've turned up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Wish me luck. Well, there it is, straight in front of us. You can't exactly miss it. That is lovely. Points can be difficult to find. Don't even know about that. He was on this. He passed the knowledge, but that one is relatively straightforward. I'm going to guess it's which gate? That's interesting. Oh no, there you go. It's right in front of you. Distribution. Go this way. Right, in we go. Oh, that's. I presume we're going in where that lorry came out. That's no guarantee though. course, went to the wrong one. Mind you, place is big. There's like 4 or 5 big warehouses next to each other. That was a bit bouncing. But lovely. I just got a guy on a high vis. I said, I've got to go this driveway. He went, that's there. And I said, just quickly show you the paperwork. He went, no, that's not the driveway. He recognised the name on the paperwork. He said, that's here. Right the way to the end. And it was like down the end, around here. I say, I'm driving around it now. It's massive. Lovely guy on the gate. He said he got a reference number, which I did have, which is not always a given. So I give him the reference number. And he went, Bay 11. So I'm going to go and back this onto Bay 11. And then I've got to drop my keys through the fire door. And then hopefully we'll get it off. Yeah. Bit of an issue with Bay 11, unfortunately. Can you work it out quickly now before Giddy? There's a trailer parked on it. Let's go and find out what's happening. Might be something too early. Turns out it wasn't go on Bay 11. They say Bay 11 because the fire door between Bay 11 and Bay 12 is where goods in is. I know this because me and a gentleman in the VW Crafter just basically walked through the door, sat there for 15 minutes, or stood there for 15 minutes, no one come out, had a quick wander around, tried to sort of, make a bit of noise, nothing happened. And then the guy who was in the room next door, who was having his lunch, in fairness, he's on break when we went in there, he could have said, oh, I'll sort you out in a minute, lads, I'm in lunch. He didn't. He reappeared 10 minutes later, and I've now been told to go on Bay 12. Bay 12. Which is, get through the window, Bay 12, when that trap pulls out. So what I'm going to do, have a little tidy up in here, have a cup of tea, get my guitar out, maybe grab myself a break if I can, because I don't know how long he's going to be, and once he's done, we're off to the next one, which I checked in the sat-nav, just under an hour. So that's not too painful. We can live with that. Just under an hour. So hopefully I might get tipped here by, say, 1, there by 2, loaded maybe half 2, half 3, half 4, half 5-ish on the way. We'll see. This is the biggest frustration about this job. I am now still here. You mean sitting on 12. Had me break, had a rest, had a cup of tea. Gone in, nothing's changed, nothing. He's still sitting there, he's still fully loaded. I've gone around the corner, there are 3 of them just sitting there talking. They ain't doing nothing, they're talking. So the same guy who took 20 minutes to actually appear and take a piece of paper off me. And I sort of explained the situation. I said, look guys, how are we doing here? Because like obviously I said, I'll take it off myself, I've got a pallet truck. Oh no, we have to check it, so you might get rejected that way. And I went, is number 12 actually being loaded or unloaded? I know he's due to be unloaded. And I'm like, I said, well, I've the cards on the table here. As soon as I get tipped, I can go and get my next one, and then I can go home. But at the moment, I am just sitting here. And they went, okay, mate, it won't be long. I've been here an hour. And there's no waiting time on it because I'm not actually due to tip until 1. But that's not the reason I'm not getting tipped because I'm early. The reason I'm not getting tipped is there are 3 people in there that are being paid to work that are doing nothing. They're just sitting around chatting. And that's annoying because it's stopping the rest of us work. That's the world done, isn't it, eh? I'll let you know when we go on a boat. Sitting here doing paperwork now. I'm sitting here writing all my scripts for the circuit channel. The other mob, my sister channel over there. They pay me to make videos. Very good at the circuit app. Highly recommend it. So I'm just sitting here, still waiting for number 12 to move, and the happens. Another truck rocks in. So what I think we can safely assume is a lorry's come in waiting to get tipped. No one bothered to move it. Then I've come in waiting to get tipped. I can't get tipped because I haven't moved the first one yet. Now another one's waiting to get tipped. Eventually it's just going to be a very long row of lorries, like a large centipede, working its way around the streets of Pontefract, waiting for the 3 people that sit in an office to actually get on an electric pump truck and move some pallets. I mean, I could be wrong. They might be on break. They might be on lunch. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. There's a load of people in there doing nothing. Frustrating. But if you can't handle the waiting, you're in the wrong job.